Dear valued customer, would you like to discover a shortcut to modern Twitter marketing? If so, pay close attention to this very limited, special offer. You will only see this once. First off, thanks so much for purchasing the guide that will teach you all the skills you need to earn a passive online income one tweet at a time. If you follow the step-by-step guide, you'll be heading straight to that goal. But what if you could do it even faster? And what if you could ensure that you get the absolute best results possible and stay focused? In short, making sure that this is a real success. Now, the good news is that you can. For a limited time, you can get access to the video upgrade to the guide you just purchased at a very low price. This powerful upgrade will make it easier to get started and stay committed to your ultimate goal. Just to be clear, this is an exclusive upgrade for customers only. Why do you need to upgrade to the video version of the Modern Twitter Marketing Guide? Did you know that most people learn a lot faster when they see something being done on video other than just by reading about it? That's because most people out there are visual learners. How do you normally learn the best? Although the guide you just purchased gives you a step-by-step approach to modern Twitter marketing, experience tells us that it requires learners to pay very close attention to the details to get the best results possible. If you miss any of the most important details or do things the wrong way, you may miss out on the full benefits offered inside the guide. For that very reason, I've put together a video version to make it easier to get positive results quickly. The video version of the guide you just purchased will help you avoid missing any important key details that you might miss by only reading the guide. Stay focused and accountable, and follow through and make sure you get ongoing results. Ensure that the work you put in now keeps on giving you benefits long into the future. Introducing Modern Twitter Marketing Video Course. Are you ready to learn all the skills you need to make money from the internet on autopilot a lot faster? If the answer is yes, click the link below. Of course, you're probably wondering how much this is going to cost, right? First off, cost is the wrong word. This upgrade is an investment that will pay for itself many times over. This is the next best thing to having an expert on the subject right beside you, showing you how it's done. Of course, hiring an expert would easily set you back hundreds of dollars. Luckily, you're not going to have to invest anywhere near that today to get the next best thing. Not only will you avoid many of the most common mistakes that people make when trying their hand at Twitter marketing, you'll notice immediate positive results in your achievements. And it's about to get even better. When you upgrade today, you'll also get this exclusive Fast Action Bonus. Fast Action Bonus, high-quality MP3s of the entire video version of the training, valued at $27. Don't have time to watch videos? I'm also providing you with 10 MP3s that you can use while you're on the go. Listen to them in the car, at home, or even at the office, all day, every day. And here's what's really great about this. You don't have to decide anything today. You get a full 30 days to go through the video training and decide if this is really for you. If for any reason, or no reason at all, you're not 100% satisfied with everything you get inside, simply let me know and I'll refund every penny of your tiny investment. No questions asked. Here's how to get instant access to the video version today. Simply click the link below, enter your information, and you'll get instant access to the entire video training plus the Fast Action Bonus MP3s. But please don't wait. You must grab this right now. In fact, if you close this page, you may never have the opportunity to upgrade to the video version of this ever again at an investment this low. Are you ready to make things happen a lot faster? If you prefer to learn by being shown how to do something and you want to get results quickly, this is for you. If you're really serious about Twitter marketing, this is for you. And if you're one of those people that's a visual learner, you need this. Here's to becoming the most productive you that you can be. Remember, if you close this page, you may never see this again at such a low investment. There's no risk. Try this out for 30 days and then decide if it's for you. It doesn't get any easier than that. Introduction. If you're looking for a fairly automated way to build a brand online, you don't have to look further than Twitter. In fact, for the longest time, a lot of marketers and marketing companies have long considered Twitter as a great place for brand formation. If you're looking for an online brand, Twitter is a great place to start. It's easy to see why. Twitter is so easy to use. You just need to post a tweet that is 140 characters. You need to do it long enough. You have to pick the right hashtags. You have to pick the right content, and given enough focus and attention to detail, you will get it right. It's just a matter of time. Of course, this does not mean automatic success, but with everything else being equal, Twitter, compared to other social media platforms, is definitely easier to master. Why? First of all, It is very friendly to automation. That's right, you can automate pretty much everything you do on Twitter. This is why a lot of people use it to make money from the internet on autopilot. They don't have to babysit each tweet. They don't have to sit around to figure out what's going on. They can pretty much set a strategy, let software do it, let the process run for some time, double-check their work, make some adjustments here and there, and then let it run. Basically, they keep repeating this process until they get it right. Again, you can run things on autopilot. With that said, you shouldn't expect much traffic if you just started on this platform. I hate to break it to you, but just like with anything else in life, you can't start out at the top. You can't expect massive success without having put in the time. While the actual work involved in Twitter can be so well managed that it almost feels like everything is automated, it still requires work. I know this is going to discourage a lot of people because a lot of people are looking for get-rich-quick schemes. A lot of people are looking for some sort of one-size-fits-all, cookie-cutter, instant success formula. Unfortunately, Twitter doesn't work that way. It can deliver success pretty much on an automated basis, but you have to pay your dues to get there. Everybody is different. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's goals are different. This is why you need to put in the time. The good news is if you are able to do that, you will be greatly rewarded by this platform because of certain key features of this system. What is so great about this platform is that it has fairly easy mechanics. It really does. When people use Twitter for the first time, they just tweet away. They just think of things to say, and in 140 characters, they tweet away. Sooner or later, they realize that they would reach a much wider range of people if they use hashtags. Even later, they figure out that people who tweet about certain topics all the time are more likely to send them more visitors or more interested followers if they engage with them. In other words, Twitter is one of those platforms that you just have to figure out in broad terms to lay out an initial strategy. Implement that strategy, and then learn from your results. Do these first before you start marketing on Twitter. Before you even seriously think of starting on Twitter, do these first. If you set up a website, you should have been doing these already. Just in case you are unclear on the concept or just in case you did things out of order, here are the things that you should do before you even think of marketing on Twitter. Pick your niche. It's really important to understand that if you want to be successful on the internet, you must have a laser focus on how you're going to make money. A lot of people are clueless regarding this. In fact, a lot of them think that they just need to buy a system that somebody else has built and they will make money. What they're really saying to themselves is they're too lazy to think through their online business. That's always a dangerous proposition because when you let another person do your thinking for you, you're going to have to deal with the consequences. You have to understand that when people build systems for others, they're usually trying to cut corners. They're trying to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. Do you think they have your best interest in mind with that attitude? Of course not. This is why it's a bad idea to let somebody else pick your business for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know who you're going to be marketing to, what exactly you're going to be pushing, and how you're actually going to be making money on the internet. You can't just buy some sort of business in a box and expect everything to work out smoothly. That happy ending that you may have been dreaming of may be a very distant and even impossible dream. Why? You just didn't step up. You have to do all of this yourself. The most important is to pick a niche. A niche is a subject matter category or some sort of category for whatever collection of needs you are trying to address. What kind of problems do the products you are promoting or the website you are building address? Pick that niche. Understand how that niche compares with other niches. Understand whether it fits your amount of resources and your expectations. Build a site. You can outsource this. You can create a site that addresses your niche. When you're building a website, you're not just putting up a nice-looking online destination. It must do something. It must convert the traffic that you drive to that site into cold, hard cash. Create a mailing list. Next, you have to create a mailing list. This is crucial. Your mailing list is actually the payload of your website. Sure, you may be putting up affiliate ads on your website. When people click these and they land on the sales or landing page, they may buy something. When they do that, you get a commission. That's nice and everything, but if you really want to make money over the long term, create a mailing list. Why? Whatever credibility, respect, or trust you create with your website, you maintain with your mailing list. When you have an update on your website, you just publish the link on your mailing list and invite people to click through, and you have yourself a nice burst of traffic. I've got some bad news to share with you. The vast majority of people who visit your website will never come back again. That's the harsh reality. When you have a mailing list, you get to retain some of that traffic. You only need to set an update, and you get a nice little surge of traffic because people saw your email and clicked on your link. This enables you to retain some of the value of the hard work and time you put into branding and promoting your website. To create a mailing list, you have to offer a premium. It's some sort of freebie. It's some sort of incentive for people to join your mailing list. Of course, you make this case on your squeeze page. You advertise the value of the freebie you're giving on a page called a squeeze page. This is where people enter their email addresses to subscribe to your mailing list. Please understand that there is a big danger here. This is a warning. Don't go overboard in promoting the freebie, because if you do that, people will sign up for the free booklet, the free course, or the free book. They couldn't care less about the updates your mailing list will send them. In fact, if you push the freebie too hard, they might even think that the updates you send are some form of spam because you caught them by surprise. Do you see how this works? There has to be a healthy balance between getting people pumped up to join your mailing list because they're getting something for doing it, but also letting them know that they are getting a better value by being on your list just because you will be sending them information that would enable them to solve all sorts of problems in their lives that are related to your niche. Do you see how this works? Do you see the balance? Create an ebook or report or some sort of high-value giveaway. When you create a mailing list, there has to be some sort of incentive for people to sign up to your list. I wish it were as easy as saying that your website is so awesome that your visitors owe it to themselves to sign up to your list. I'm telling you that if this is your strategy, you're probably going to get very few list members. Why? People need a push. They may be impressed by your website, they may like what you're doing, but this may not be enough to get them off the fence. Too many people, entering an email address into a field is a lot of effort. You have to give them some sort of valuable incentive for them to sign up for your list. Generally, I would use some of my popular blog posts, or I would come up with a distilled version or a cheat sheet version. Usually this works. Other times, I would use some sort of massive compilation of resources that are an answer to people's problems. Whatever the case may be, the value of the incentive must be obvious. They don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out the value of what you're giving away. Again, to reiterate, the value must not be so big and steal so much of the spotlight that people forget that they're signing up for a mailing list. It must share equal billing with the list. You have to promote the freebie in such a way that it is still clear to the person registering to your mailing list that they are signing up for a mailing list. Find top-notch content in your niche. Once you've set up a website and a mailing list, the next step on your journey to marketing your website and mailing list on Twitter is content. It's easy to get tempted and think that you're some sort of niche genius. You get all excited about a hot idea or a hot blog post topic, so you write a blog article. You put in the time, effort, and energy to do that. But what happens? 9 times out of 10, that content doesn't work. For whatever reason, people do not seek it out. You don't get traffic with it. You're not alone when this happens. The idea of build it and they will come is a dead end. Thankfully, there's a shortcut. Focus on content in your niche that already works. Look at the social media accounts of influential people or companies in your niche. Look at the content they're sharing. Pay attention to how many social signals they get. Do they get a lot of retweets, likes, favorites? Do they get shared a lot on Facebook? Using this objective social signal information, select their best content and reverse engineer it. Reverse engineering top-shelf niche content. Now that you have a clear understanding of what's hot and what's not in your niche, the next step is to reverse engineer your competitors' best content. How do you do this? First of all, you just focus on their topic. If they're talking about a certain personality in your niche, then talk about that person, because obviously the fact that they're getting all this attention from your niche audience means people are truly interested in that personality. However, don't stop there. Come up with something new. Maybe interview that person directly, or maybe take some sort of controversial angle. Maybe you can give more complete information. Whatever the case may be, come up with content that is obviously superior. This is what's going to make your tweets more popular. This is what will speed your branding efforts up. I'm sorry, but if you're just going to offer the same content that everybody in your niche is already offering, there's really no reason the people you're reaching out to should follow you. Think about it. If they think that you're giving them the same stuff as other sites, why go to you? They can easily have gone to those other sites. Draw their attention based on familiar themes. Keep their attention by doing something a bit different. It doesn't have to be much. You don't have to be a hero. You don't have to go overboard. But it has to be different enough. Unfortunately, this is one of those things that you will have to figure out firsthand. You would have to do it through trial and error. You have to learn through trial and error. Set up consistent social media accounts. Now that you have followed the steps above, you can now start setting up your social media accounts. For starters, you should focus on YouTube, Google+, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, Twitter, and maybe Pinterest. Start with these. Later on, you can branch out to other social media platforms like Quora, Instagram, and others. Your social media accounts must be consistent with each other. Your headers must have the same design. Your biography and other text must have similar elements. The key here is to project consistency. Consistency indicates professionalism. You're not just some random person working out of your mom's garage putting up one random website after the other. It can also help you solidify your brand. If you make a good impression on Facebook groups and people click through to your Twitter account and they see similar messaging, they can see that you are consistent, constant, and offer different types of content. This would help them become more comfortable with your brand. This would help them view your brand as more credible. Commit to specialized content on your social media account. Here's the big danger with having many social media accounts. It's very easy to see that a lot of companies put up a presence on many different platforms. That's great and everything because you have many ways of getting new traffic. The problem is they post the same content across the board. This is a problem. When people approach your brand on Twitter, they're looking for content that is slightly different from the content they would expect on Facebook groups, your Facebook fan page, and definitely your YouTube channel. You have to be aware of these different expectations and give them what they're looking for. Oftentimes, this is as simple as the form of content you offer. Obviously, when you're on YouTube, it would suck if you just offer blank videos of somebody reading your articles. That's not going to work. At least bother to use slideshows with the article. Preferably, you should have some sort of video spokesperson who speaks directly to the people during the video. Each platform's content must maximize the format requirements of that specific platform. Twitter marketing best practices. The first 9 videos of this training step you through the process of Twitter marketing. Whether you're going the fully automated route or you're doing things by hand, you have to use certain best practices. Otherwise, it's too easy for your Twitter marketing campaign to simply fall apart. The vast majority of people who try their hand at Twitter marketing simply do not succeed. It's not because these people are dumb. It's not because these people are hopeless in terms of execution. They just did not have a plan. They also did not follow certain best practices that would have increased their chances of success. Here are just some best practices that I've learned marketing successfully on Twitter for several years. Element by element optimization. When you're optimizing content on Twitter, it's a good idea to focus on one element at a time. What is an element? Well, it's just part of a tweet. It could be the question. It could be the link. It could be the hashtag. When you're optimizing for the highest amount of engagement and click-through, you have to change your tweet section by section. You can't just change them dramatically overnight because even if you do get some sort of improvement, you don't know which part accounts for that improvement. You're completely in the dark. On the other hand, if you optimize element by element, you can clearly identify which part you changed and reasonably conclude that this accounts for the improvement. Once you're no longer getting a nice improvement or you peaked with a particular element, then you switch to the next element. With Twitter, this is pretty straightforward. You play around with many different question variations until you get one that gets clicked a lot. Next, you swap out different hashtags until you get something that gets clicked a lot. It seems pretty simple, but it's something that takes place over an extended period of time. It's not something that happens overnight. You just have to pay attention to the trend. That's traffic statistics so you can make the necessary adjustments. Tweet timing optimization. Depending on your time zone, it may well turn out that a lot of your most active followers prefer early morning or late at night. Pay attention to your statistics. Maybe you're using Google Analytics. Maybe you're using StatCounter. It really doesn't matter. Pay attention to the time of the clicks coming in. You see a pattern. If you do, Use your tweet scheduling software to mirror the most active times or the most popular time frame of your content. This is the time range where most people click on your links on Twitter. Make your decisions based on statistics. A lot of brilliant online marketers fail in the Twitter marketing game because they go with their gut. They tell me, I just know it feels right. Alternatively, they tell me that their gut is telling them something. 9 times out of 10, these people fail. Again, they're not dumb. They're not stupid. Instead, they base their decision on feelings. Unfortunately, in this game, feelings can only take you so far. In fact, hunches often lead to dead ends. If you're going to be making a decision involving your content, your conversion pages, your mailing list, or whatnot, pay attention to statistics. Make sure you can justify whatever changes you make with hard numbers. Get ready to go manual or full auto. At this stage, you have set up your Twitter account. It is brand consistent. You already have lined up the best content you have researched from your competitors. This content has a lot of likes, shares, comments, and other signs of engagement. This is third-party content produced by others. When people click the link, they go to somebody else's website. They do not go to your site. Why in the world would you share this stuff? What's the point of driving traffic to somebody else's website? Well, it really boils down to credibility. If you make it your job to get all the very best content involving your niche and sharing it from one central place, you become credible and authoritative so much faster than if you just publish your own content. First of all, it's going to take a lot of time to reverse engineer the very best content and come up with your own version. It can also become very expensive. Time, after all, is money. Even if you're not paying a professional writer from places like ozkey.org, who charge very reasonable rates, coming up with original content can still be a very expensive proposition for you. Why? It will take a lot of your own time to come up with that content. You probably have better things to do. You probably have other things you could be doing that would currently pay you more money. Third-party content is a lifesaver. This is called curation. You take the best content that everybody else has to offer and then you share it through your social media accounts. Here's the secret though. You share that content to draw people based on their interests. For example, if I find top-notch content on content marketing and I have a Twitter account that sells content marketing services, it would make a lot of sense for me to put all that high-quality and highly popular material in my Twitter feed, but from time to time, I would share my own original content. My original content would build credibility for me based on what I raise in the content. I control the conversation using those posts. After I get enough of a natural following, I would then share more and more of my own content and then share posts that only feature my squeeze page sign-up link. By doing this, I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I share curated content to build credibility among a niche audience. These are people searching for certain specific content using very targeted hashtags. I pair very targeted niche hashtags with all my content. I rotate them. Then, I send out this content slowly but surely I get people who are truly interested in my niche. Once I've established quite a bit of a following, I then share my own reverse-engineered content. This builds even more credibility, and this can also lead to my website getting backlinks from bloggers who are monitoring my niche. Finally, once I've got enough flow going, I would then start rotating my squeeze page link through my tweets more often. Instead of showing my squeeze page tweets once every 2 days or once a week, I can start showing it every few hours. However, it only makes sense to do this once you have established a decent number of followers and there's a high enough overall engagement level with your tweets. This is the general strategy. You can do this either manually or on full auto. What is fully automated tweeting? Fully automated tweeting is exactly what it sounds like. The content that you are going to be tweeting is fed through a social media content publishing tool like Hootsuite or Social Oomph. You just set up a schedule and the links and the tweet text that you put are going to be published to your account. You don't have to babysit your Twitter account as it publishes tweet after tweet. You also automatically plug in the hashtag that you want to target for each tweet. Fully automated tweeting can also mean using certain tools like Follow Liker that actually mimics liking other people's accounts. Usually, when people have their posts liked, they feel good. It feels good to feel like you matter. It feels good to be appreciated. A certain percentage of these would actually click the account of the person liking and see what their page is like. If they like what they see, they end up following. Fully automated tweeting also includes this. You basically automate publishing, but you also automate engagement. There are many tools currently available on the market, but here's a bit of warning. Twitter is cracking down on bot-like behavior. While few people will have problems with automating publishing, most people would view automating liking or automated favoriting or listing with more suspicion. I'm just giving you a heads up because these bots may sooner or later be banned by Twitter. What is purely manual tweeting? You can go the other extreme. The other extreme, of course, is to do everything purely by hand. Not only do you find the very best content by hand, you filter them manually, you post everything manually, you also engage manually. The great thing about this is that you have maximum control. The bad thing about this is you need to have iron discipline to pull this off. What if the vast majority of your actual link clickers live in a different time zone? This is going to be a problem. You're going to have to get up early or stay up late to tweet within the hours your actual followers are most active. This can get downright inconvenient. Also, engaging tons of niche accounts on Twitter can burn up a lot of time. You also have to process a lot of information in a short period of time. Unless you have an IQ over 150, it's just going to be a little heavy because that's a lot of content to read through and analyze. Go for a hybrid solution. There's a lot to recommend a purely manual tweeting approach. You get a lot of control. You get a laser-like focus on account selection. You get to truly fine-tune your message. However, it takes too much time and effort. Thankfully, there is a halfway solution. This hybrid solution is pretty straightforward. You can use tools to post on your Twitter feed, but engagement is done manually. That's pretty much how it boils down. You still have to find niche-related content that's already gone viral. There's no getting around this. You still have to do this. Thankfully, there is a cheaper way to do this. You can, of course, do this yourself. Like I said, time is money. You might also feel like you're going nuts because you have to read so much material. The shortcut is to use a service like congoplus.com. They have virtual assistants from places like India and the Philippines that you only need pay $18 per day. These bright, ambitious, educated people would then find the viral content that you're looking for that meets your criteria. They then send you an XLS file, you verify, then you pay them. It's only $18 for 8 hours worth of work. You can't beat that with a baseball bat. You really can't. However way you choose to do it, you need to get this content. You then look for influence leaders on Twitter that cater to your niche. Again, you can do this yourself or you can hire a virtual assistant to do it for you. The secret is to make sure that they're almost always talking about your niche. Once you are sure about that, you can then look at their content and pay attention to their hashtags. Copy these. You're going to pair these with your tweets. Use an automated tool to publish. Whether you're doing things manually or automatically, use an automated tool to publish. The good news here is that you're not taking blind shots in the dark. When you publish, pair this content, whether it's original or third-party, with hashtags related to your niche. The difference. The big difference is what happens next. When you're using an automated system, you wait for an organic following and then you mix in your squeeze page links and your content links. You then use some sort of tool to mimic engagement. For a manual approach, you do the same. You wait for an organic following to increase and then you mix in your own stuff. The big difference is you invest 1 hour per day doing manual outreach to influencers in your niche. You should already be doing this because these are the people you got your hashtags from. Remember? The extra step that you need to take is just to engage with them. Tell them that you like their content. Manually like their stuff. Click the heart icon or retweet. Do whatever you can to get on their radar. One-to-one or person-to-person engagement is crucial. You have to get on their radar. Again, you can try to automate, but it can be ham-fisted. Also, it may be so obvious or clunky. Worse yet, Twitter might be cracking down on engagement automation, so this option may not remain open for long. Manual Twitter marketing. Assuming that you have decided to go the manual route, here's what you need to do. You have to budget your time. If you think you only have 1 hour to spare, make sure you give it at least 1 hour. This means stick to 1 hour exactly or go a bit over, but you need to make sure you put in the time. Find niche leaders. First, you need to find people's Twitter accounts who talk about your niche. Enter the keywords related to your niche into Twitter to find those accounts. How do you know these keywords? Where do you find these keywords? Here are the steps. Create a Google AdWords account. Don't get scared, this is free. Create a free account. Use the Google AdWords Keyword Planner tool. Enter websites that you know are competitors of yours, and alternatively enter well-known websites that you know are in your niche. You should get a nice listing of keywords using this technique. Once you find these keywords, look up those keywords to find even more related keywords. Make sure that these keywords get a decent amount of traffic. Read these keywords and be convinced that they are actually related to your niche. Once you have a nice clean list of keywords, plug this into Twitter to find accounts. There's a shortcut to this. You can use Congo Plus's $18 per day virtual assistants to do this for you. For only $18, you get a person's full 8-hour day of labor. This person can use Google AdWords for you, find the right keywords, filter the keywords, go through Twitter, find the accounts, get the hashtags, and follow those accounts. Follow real niche-specific accounts. Once you've done the above steps, you should be able to identify the accounts of people in your niche on Twitter. This is where you need to make a judgment call. You need to look at enough of their tweets to see if this person truly cares about your niche. Is this person really a niche expert, or does this person tweet about your niche from time to time? These are two totally different things. Follow real niche leaders. What are the benefits of manual Twitter marketing? When you identify and engage with niche leaders on Twitter, you get the following benefit. First of all, you get niche-specific hashtags. Second, you get a chance to get on the radar with people who are really experts or authorities in your niche. These people can open a lot of digital doors for your business. They can retweet your actual content. This can lead to niche-specific audience members visiting your website. They can interview you and possibly link to your website. You can interview them and establish some sort of professional friendship. You can get invited to conventions or symposiums or workshops. These can be tremendous networking opportunities. There are just so many ways you can benefit when you reach out to people who are already established authorities in your niche. Don't be antisocial. Don't think that you can be successful just with your own efforts. It doesn't work that way because there is a network of really credible people on Twitter already who have the influence that you're looking for. Why not just piggyback on their influence? Why reinvent the wheel?